The built environment today faces three main challenges: global warming and rising environmental pressure, the need to look for renewable energies, and an inevitable growth in population. Leadership should foster the right talent, expertise, and knowledge. The reduction of carbon emissions is a challenge that the world will face. The need to collaborate is essential to achieve optimum results. A broad range of partners who share the same vision and commitment to a cleaner future is key. And now, with the potential game-changer technologies, we will look into the future all the way until 2030. Two scenarios are proposed accordingly: the protectionist BRICS and the transformative crystal.
The BRICS scenario conveys a focus on national security. Continuous pressure pushes governments, who are the main players in this scenario, to secure energy supply in the near future. Clusters of allies and blocs form these protectionist entities. Accordingly, bilateral agreements and incentives for local resource development becomes a necessity. Exploiting conventional energy sources of oil and gas will proceed for almost the entire horizon until 2030. Climate change issues are being forwarded to the future, and the sustainable built environment will not be seriously addressed until serious climate events stimulate political responses. At the same time, a serious look for cleaner energies will emerge after an acute confrontation of energy supply limitations. This causes pitfalls in economic growth by 2025, affecting negatively the sustainable built environment. The huge growth in global population will put tremendous pressure on existing infrastructures, increasing property prices. This will bring social tension, as there will be shortage of space. Nations under BRICS will be faced to look for fast and cheap housing solutions, deviating from sustainable built communities. The advancement of communication technology will not reach its full potential by 2030. All would suffer. BRICS suggests that the gap will be reduced, yet insignificantly. The communicational integration of the built environment, accordingly, will not take its full potential.
Growing the economies will continue to be the main objective that national governments pursue. Curbing growth by investing in alternative energies is uncommon. The focus will be on supply levers. Little global coordination on sustainable resources follows, affecting the progress of eco-cities. Still, coordination between countries would continue to develop on the basis of common interest and rivalry against other regional blocs. The balance of power in this scenario is leaned toward natural resource holders. These holders leverage their protective positions by aligning with their developed partners' countries. Developed countries secure their energy needs and do not insist on cleaner, renewable energies from their counterparts. Therefore, a general, cohesive, sustainable built environment does not prosper in the right capacity. Only by 2030, BRICS foresees that we will have fully running eco-cities. These cities will only be a handful, located mainly in cash-rich emerging markets such as GCC countries. These cities will be less common in developed countries, which will use them mainly for experimental reasons and as shields against political and environmental activists.
In the crystal scenario, on the other hand, countries collaborate closely in order to repair global imbalances. International organizations such as the IMF, the World Bank and the G20 are reformed to reflect the changed balance of power in the world. Countries such as China, India and Brazil now play an important role on the global political stage. The exchange of technologies, ideas and investments on a global level becomes a reality. It allows many technologies and initiatives to develop more quickly and more efficiently than in the BRICS scenario. At the beginning, only the OECD countries and a limited number of fast-growing emerging economies devote resources to promote the sustainability of the built environment. Large-scale eco-friendly projects, such as the carbon-neutral city of Masdar in Abu Dhabi, become a reality. These projects are mainly aimed to develop new technologies. Real commercial deployment of sustainable concepts in the built environment is initially limited to low-cost applications in newly developed buildings, such as improved isolation materials and the incorporation of solar and wind power generating capacity in buildings. By 2020, OECD countries do start investing heavily in making their existing built environment more sustainable. Wireless connectivity networks appear in most OECD cities, allowing access to the internet and other communication means without the use of wires, making traditional wires a redundant technology. Innovative isolation materials are developed and deployed in public buildings and private houses. Integrated solar panels and wind turbines become a must for houses and public buildings by the end of 2020. Industrial waste products such as copper and steel slag are increasingly used in building materials, increasing the sustainability. These developments are further facilitated by a real focus on the implementation of smart grids and smart electricity meters.
Emerging countries evidence a far more dynamic economic growth and urban expansion. They start constructing completely new urban areas in order to facilitate their high levels of urbanization. At the same time, emerging countries start to improve the sustainability and the living conditions of slums. Innovative government policies are put into place, such as leasing solar panels and the integration of energy-efficient materials. Significant improvements will be made in greening up the transportation sector. Technologies such as hybrid cars powered by a combination of conventional and renewable sources take off. The sharing of plug-in hybrid cars will become a norm. Cars will drive independently to buildings, reducing the need for vehicle spaces. Conventional cars are increasingly banned from city centers. Only pedestrians and clean cars are allowed to enter. The built environment in urban areas will be adapted to this new way of transportation. Petrol stations will be equipped to support plug-in and biofuel hybrids. Private houses and office buildings will incorporate vehicle charging facilities.
It is safe to conclude that the crystal scenario is a better option for the world as a whole. In the crystal scenario, the sustainable built communities will be 4 times bigger than in the brick scenario. Contrary to the brick scenario, renewable energies and building resources will be the standard in the built environment. The bricks and crystal scenario will allow decision makers to better understand the way the sustainability of the built environment will develop over the next 20 years. Small indicators in the global political environment will point towards one or the other scenario. The future is blurred. Let's hope for crystal.